Michael, how you doing this morning? Today on Wesam's World, Michael the bear and me the camel. The camel and the bear. Chicago Bears. Chicago Cubs. That's all the sports teams from Chicago's I know. Chicago's?
Bulls.
Oh, and the Bulls. We got Bears, Cubs, and Bulls.
And Blackhawks.
And Black Eye. I can't do this anymore. What a interesting mix of animals. Michael has nothing to say about that, apparently. Hey, guys, we got a sponsor for the show, and I'm super excited to announce that I'm going to try this sponsor for the first time on air, Michael.
Excellent.
Our sponsor is High Brew Coffee, and I'm trying their creamy cappuccino with protein, and it has 12 grams of protein in this little drink, which is actually pretty substantial. So here we go. Creamy cappuccino. Oh, that's good. No joke, that's really good. Oh my gosh. And whoa. This has that nice balance of sweetness and not being overly sweet, because I don't like that in my drinks. But this has like the perfect amount of sweetness too. Oh my gosh. This is, I'm going to say it, probably one of the best coffee drinks I've had, actually. Wow. And they've got like a bunch of, I think I might open all these. Is that going to be weird?
No.
I'll wait till Bobby's on here. Our guest today is Bobby Lee. We might try all these. I'll give him a proper intro here in a little bit. But yeah, they've got dark mocha chocolate. They have double espresso. And they've got Mexican vanilla and dairy-free black and bold. I think that's just black coffee. And this one has 20 calories in it, which you can burn off 20 calories just shadow boxing for a minute as hard as you can. You know that?
There you go.
I mean, you have to do that pretty hard, though. But, you know. Guys, our guest today's I'm super excited to have him on. Bobby Lee, the great comedian and actor. And I've been watching him since he was on Mad TV, actually. And he's on the show Splitting Up Together on ABC. We're part of the ABC family. You watch it?
I do watch it.
Yeah. Big cliffhanger.
I haven't seen the finale.
Oh, I should. Oh, we might talk about it on the show. We won't give any spoilers away, but there is a big cliffhanger. I'm super excited to talk with him about Mad TV, comedy, the acting business, life, and how open this guy is. He's like fearless, a warrior in the comedy and acting world, I feel, and in the personal world as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Bobby Lee. What does that say? Stumptown.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. Bobby Lee. Dude, okay.
Yeah, this is how you start?
This is how I start.
Okay, cool.
It's different every time. I have no clue.
right.
No, I'm kidding.
Can I just say this before you even get into it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I like your legs.
Excuse me?
You're wearing shorts. I don't think I like them.
Why?
Your legs. They're little. I just didn't think you had that style of legs.
What the heck?
They're like buff and thick, huh? It's a fine. I like your face. You have a great face. It's a face for TV. I'm just you know.
It's too. What's wrong with them? Hold on.
They're just
Let's bring
the
them
color. I don't like the color. The
They're
hair,
super
the
white.
color, everything
They're
about
super
it.
white. But they're strong.
But
And
I
I'm
bet that that's fine.
Dude, I'm so flexible.
That's great. What happened? Oh, okay.
What?
That's why I just put them down.
Okay. All right. I'm seriously so excited to have you on. I'm sure you get this all the time, but I used to watch you when you were on Mad TV.
What?
Yeah.
That was on during your time?
It was.
Oh.
90s, right?
In the 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I got on at 2000. It went on for 14 years.
Right.
And I did the shitty years.
Oh.
Yeah, the last 7, or 8. I did the last 8 years.
You were did you ever do stuff with Brian Callen on there?
No, see, he was the good years.
He was the good years, okay.
Yeah, Sasso, I mean, Icon got on Sasso's last year.
Yeah.
But my generation was like Ike Barinholtz, Key and Peele, those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I mean, we did what we could, you know?
But, dude, I rewatched it, though, like some clips and stuff, and I have 2 questions. First,
Go ahead.
the first question is, it's not a question, it's just a statement. I appreciate more little subtleties. like in your performance and other people's
thanks.
performances than I did before, because I've actually studied acting now. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And
yeah,
then
yeah.
comedy, and you're like, fuck, that's really good. Like, that's really, really good. And then the second thing is, do you remember the Green Man suit
Yeah,
sketch?
the Dragon Hunter.
I have
yeah.
a friend who's asking you, the Brett Davern from the Brett Davern Show.
Yeah.
One of these up here.
Yeah.
Did you write that one?
No, this guy Stephen Craig wrote it, but it's like one of my classic ones, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but
It's really funny.
because what's great about that one is that I had to perform it in front of when we did the table read, you just got to do it on your feet. So, you know, imagine doing that sketch. It's me basically sucking guys off.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it in front of, like, back then, the network, you know, back then. And they were, they just didn't really understand it, but they greenlit it, and I did it. You know, it was unbelievable.
Were they more lenient, you think, networks back when you were doing the comedy stuff then?
I think for our show, because, you know, our show would have been an okay hit now.
Yeah.
But back then we weren't. We were getting like what 3 million viewers, you know, for a late Saturday night. That was pretty good, you know. But it's still like if we had that now, we would be considered a success, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially with late night shows, because our show, For the People, aired at 10, and we realized the big jump in our viewership with the DVR plus threes. So
Yeah.
people, like 60% increase in our numbers, 50%
Wow,
increase.
yeah, yeah.
And your show, Splitting Up Together, was on at 9:30, right before us.
Yeah, yeah, we were together.
Yeah. Do you ever look at the numbers or anything like that stuff? Or
No,
not really?
because I don't know how to understand. I don't understand them. And number two, it's like I try to get out of the results of it because I have no control. Being on a TV show now is a completely different game than it was in the 70s and 80s. I mean, if you and I were on two shows then, we'd be able to feel it in our lives. Like we'd go to a mall, you know, and everyone would know who we were.
Right.
And now it's like I've had one person say, "Hey, I think I saw you on Splitting Up Together." One person at like a Ralph's.
Wow.
You know, so it's like being on a successful YouTube video,
Yeah.
but we get paid way more. You know,
The pay is a lot better.
it's a lot better. But the thing is that it just, you know, it wasn't what I thought growing up. It would have. I imagined it to be, you know, so much better than it is in terms of the feeling of being on a show.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I used to think, I'm going to be knee deep in, like, you know, white chicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm going to be
yeah.
like so much money. I don't even know what, you know. And it's like I still like, you know, I have like my just regular fears that I've always had, you know. And it doesn't, you know, it's only financially, but it's like, it's fine. I'm grateful, but I'm just saying that it's just a different deal, you know.
You're describing something similar that happened to me when I booked my first guest star spot. And
What was it?
guest spot on The Mentalist.
Oh yeah, I like that show.
Yeah. And I got the email from my agent, and then the phone call, like, confirming it. And then after the phone call, I was like, yes! Yes!
Yeah.
Yeah! All right.
Yeah. It feels good.
It feels good, but
Yeah.
then it was like, I noticed, like, oh, the world's still revolving.
Yes.
And then when I got they tell you how much you're getting paid. So usually for, like, network shows, a guest spot is like, what, eight grand for SAG. Usually.
Wow, yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good
Yeah.
until you take away taxes and then your agent
Sure.
and manager fee, and then you're left with like a little over $3,000.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I need to book like a bunch of these a year to survive. And then you're like, oh, okay, it's great. It's just not what I anticipated.
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny that you say that because we got on Mad 5,000 to start a week. Being a series regular.
But back in the 90s, that was a little better.
2000s, I said, Jack. He's trying to make me older, you know what I mean?
80s, right? 70s.
Yeah, 70s. Yeah. No, but it's like, you know, it's funny because it's, you know, we have to compete against everyone now. I mean, you know, when, like, I was on Mad TV when YouTube was just starting, really, you know? So I was still able to kind of get a little bit of, we used to go to the West Covina Mall to get recognized.
Who?
Just me and the cast members. Like, after, like, we'd shoot and stuff, we'd go, let's go to the West Covina Mall because Mexicans liked us a lot.
Oh, okay.
So we would go to the food court, like, by the hot dog and the stick or whatever. And, like, you know, Latino dudes would be like, hey, bro, you funny, bro? And we'd be like, oh, my God, we're famous. You know, like, how sad that is, you know? That we would, like, fish for compliments at a mall. It felt good, you know.
Yeah, you.
What you?
I envy
hate
you. I envy
I love
you.
you.
I love you too, bud. No, I really. There's something about you which I find remarkable, and it's probably because I've watched you obviously when you were on TV, and then I listened to your podcast, and I've seen like some interactions you had on like interviews. You just seem so open and free, and you don't care about judgment. And then sometimes though, at the same time, like on your podcast, which I find really interesting, and maybe that's part of being a human, you'll talk about like some of your insecurities or some of the stuff that like bother you, and I'm just like, I don't know, you just seem like this.
Well, the thing is that there's a combination of a couple of things. Number one, I'm old. I really am old. I'm almost 50.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're in your 40s.
I'm 47.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So when you're getting toward the end.
I'm thinking you're like my age
No,
right
I'm not.
now.
How old are you?
30.
You're an asshole.
What do you mean I'm an asshole?
You're rubbing it in my face.
No, I say you look like me, bro.
I know, but you got all bug-eyed and like cocky.
That's just the way I look. Okay.
That's your natural look? What race are you?
I was born in Syria. So
So would you say that you're No, because I've never met a Syrian.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean because you guys are topical in the last 5-10 years in a bad way. I'm sorry.
No, there's
What's
a lot
happening?
of negative things over there happening.
It's shitty. Hassan is a fucking asshole. Do you like him, or are you pro Hassan?
It's much more complicated than is what is portrayed in the Western media.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. We can maybe get into
super, super complicated.
Yeah.
Like to the point of where people will tune out because it's so complicated to listen to.
Yeah. I mean, the things that we see is, children, dead on a pickup truck. And I guess you're right. I mean, that's what I don't know the geopolitical, struggles and anything that really.
Right.
They just say, Hassan's a bastard. You know what I mean? And then you kind of go, oh, I guess he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically it.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Let's not get into it. We don't have to get into it. Yeah.
No, you know what? We'll get into it a little later.
Yeah.
Because dude, it's a mess. I've had family members really affected personally. I've lost family members because of fucking terrorists.
Yeah.
And people who are saying they're fighting for democracy over there.
Yeah.
And they're just killing innocent people.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So there's bad things happening on both sides.
It's a civil war. It's terrible.
It's horrible.
But you're here now in North Hollywood, and you're on a TV show. So what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm helping out my family, and
Do you really do?
Yeah. That's like, especially my mom and dad, because they sacrifice so much to come to this country. So that's my thing. I really want to make sure that their last few chapters. I hope they have a long life, but I want to make sure their last few chapters in this lifetime is a very positive one, and I'm able to financially support them and let them do what they want to do.
I do that too with my parents.
Yeah, and I've heard some on your podcast condolences for your father. I hope he's doing better.
He's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a mixed bag because growing up, he was a bastard, and he was alcoholic and violent, and I hated him growing up. I would pray. I'd go like, I wish, that he wasn't in my life. That's how much I hated him. But
wow,
as years went on, obviously after in my 20s, I was able to actually communicate with him, and he didn't really get the comedy thing for many, many years. And then I did in 2000. I did Jay Leno as a stand-up, and I didn't have a car. I was a doorman at the Comedy Store, and they go, hey, you want to do a 5-minute set? So I did it, and then my dad saw it, and ever since then, he's been on board. But it took that long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think immigrant parents have to see it actually, visualize it and see it for real. I mean, if you say I'm a stand-up, they don't really get, there's no stand-up comedy back then in Korea, so he doesn't know what it is. And so when he saw me on a TV show, Tonight Show, and he could go, oh my God, he is doing it,
Right.
But if you're when you're struggling as stand-up, you do a lot of coffee shops and open mics and bars and, shit road gigs, and, they just they didn't get it, and, but I don't know if I would have succeeded if they were on board from the beginning. I like the fact, I like the struggle. I like feeling like I still have to make it. I still feel like I haven't made it. I every day I go, what do I need to do to make it in this business? I feel that, and
let's be realistic though. In our business, who has like, okay, they've made it. That's it. They're
Tom
set for
Hanks.
life. Okay, like 4 people maybe.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, you're right. There's not a lot. But I even know some stand-ups that I go, did you feel like you made it? And they go, yeah.
Well,
you could just, like somebody like
Rogan.
What is Rogan? Even like I have these older friends that I knew back when I was like doing commercials, like Eric Stone Street. Like Stone Street's on Modern Family. He's won some Emmys. If I asked Eric, did you make it? He'd probably go, yeah, I won Emmys. Right. If I go to Brian Callen, even he probably would think that he made it. I just don't ever put myself in that feeling because I think that feeling would be very disastrous for me.
Fair.
I like the fact that like I get resentful and angry, and like I get angry, and I like being in that place.
Okay.
I like fighting.
That helps you artistically.
Yeah, and also maybe I have low self-esteem too. Maybe I just hate myself, and I just want to allow myself to be happy. But especially when you're on the road for that long. I mean, I'm on a show now and I'm grateful, but after Mad TV, things weren't good. I mean, I couldn't get a job. I mean, imagine being Korean, right? Back then, being on a sketch show for an American sketch show for 8 years, right? And then leaving that show and then like not being able to get in stuff. Like I would get a line maybe in a movie, but like I couldn't get anything going. And so I spent many, many years on the road. And when you're on the road for that long, it gets depressing, especially when you're not like someone like Sebastian Maniscalco, who's a friend of mine. I saw him last night. He sells out 5,000 seats in a theater. Yeah, that's fun. But when you're like doing clubs in the middle of nowhere and you're not drawing after being on a show for 8 years and you're just every week you're like in Lubbock or some of these towns, it doesn't feel like show business. It feels like you're like a stripper. And I don't know, man. Like I slowly got back, but it took a while. I thought like maybe 5 years ago I got like I didn't work for a long time, and then I got Animal Practice, which is an NBC show about veterinarians. I was on that show. I was in The Dictator, and I was in Harold and Kumar 3, and that was like I got all that like in a month. So I felt like, oh, here we go.
Right.
But then I did those things, and then I spent another 2 or 3 years, not struggling, but like trying to find my way, you know. And then, but this has been a great couple years. That's the thing. It's like it's not. That's why I feel like I'm always, struggling because I did have those gaps of like there's the Asian of the year. I mean, Dr. Ken was the Asian of the year. They
have an award for that?
No, but in my head, there was always like, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there is. I mean, you could feel it. It's like, oh, Dr. Ken got everything this year?
That's... I mean, maybe because you're older and we have totally two different life experiences, but I guess just sharing my perspective on it, I realized that, like, I used to compare a lot. To the point where, especially in the beginning, I'm like, oh, well, this guy was in LA for less time than me.
Yeah.
And he's gotten more stuff, and he's not as talented as me. You know what I mean? And saying those, like, really negative thoughts.
Yeah.
And then, like, logically, I started breaking it down. I'm like, well, how the hell can I compare myself to him when literally, first of all, we look completely different, and our life circumstances are completely different.
Yeah.
Like, it's so... then I really thought about that for the longest time. Like, I can't compare it then.
Yeah. Maybe we're just made up differently. I mean, I don't think it's I think it's literally we're made up differently. I think that I put myself in a psychological torment just so that I can, like, be combative 24/7, Yeah. Like, as a comic, I just need to feel like that little like motivation. It gives me
Yeah,
more motivation.
yeah.
Like, Randall Park, he's killing it. I'm not. I gotta get back. I gotta figure it out.
That's healthy. I think that the way you described it right there.
Yeah.
I like that. That's healthy because like Joey Diaz was on your show a couple weeks ago, or was it a week ago? So, and then you said something in there where it's like, oh shit, if I'm following Joey, it's like, or you're following like a comedian who did really well.
Yeah.
Oh, you better you feel like you have to bring out the big guns.
Yeah.
You have to strategize. Okay, what am I going to open up with?
Sure.
And I like that. That kind of motivation, I think, is healthy.
Yeah. I'm not saying that everything that I do is healthy, but in that way, yes, it is healthy. But I do have I have addiction problems, and I've been sober for 16 years.
Wow.
I'm a damaged guy. I have done a lot of abuse on my body.
Yeah.
And even sexually, I've had some weird shit,
Yeah.
Mike, that's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi.
I don't think I've told Mike how I introduced myself to you at the TCAs.
Well, that's the thing. It's so weird how you meet people, because we were at some sort of ABC TCA junket thing, and where were you just sitting? What happened? How did we meet?
Okay, so I see you immediately, and I'm like, oh shit, Bobby Lee, awesome, cool. I should go say hi to him because that story resonated so much with me, and I've been watching you for a while. I'm a fan, and I was like, "Oh, he's on the new show with Jenna Fisher." I'm like, "That's awesome for him." It was from the Fighter and the Kid podcast, and he's talking about this story, which I'm just gonna say it.
Go ahead.
How you were molested?
Yeah,
and it's not a funny story.
It is.
The way you said it on the show. Dude, I was in fucking tears, and then Brian and Brendan were crying.
They were crying. Yeah.
Oh my god, it just gets progressively worse.
It's funny because those little things in my life that I found as a kid ashamed of, and I would being when you're 9, 10 years old and you're being molested by a guy with Down syndrome. He had Down syndrome, right? It doesn't feel. I mean, you're in the beginning of life, and it's hurtful.
Yeah.
But I feel like by opening up and making fun of it and showing it to people, there's some therapy. It's therapeutic in my case.
Yeah.
You're shedding light on it. It's not this dark, dirty thing.
Mm-mm.
And I think I learned that from being sober or something. But I literally don't feel anything that I'm embarrassed of. Like when I was a younger guy, I sucked a couple of penises.
Yeah.
And didn't like it. I had to try it a couple of times.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I was like, I can never talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm not gay, and it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with it now.
See, even your comfortability of just saying that out loud, I'm like that. I envy that openness. You know what I mean? Where it's something that's a part of you. It's part of your journey, and it's made you who you are today. And then you're trying to better yourself every day. So it's like, of course, that's cool. Like, you know what I mean?
But you have to also think that, how long do I have on planet Earth, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're like these living organisms on
70.
a round ball, right? We're just these things that we're here.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? I don't really do dogs. Like, if a dog sucked a couple of dog dicks, would he be like, oh, that's embarrassing? Or I don't think he would give a shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, I've had a lot of pussy too.
Yeah.
Probably 99.9% has been vagina, but a couple of dicks slipped through.
That's a pretty good percentage.
Thanks.
That's A plus. That's an A plus. That's a 4.0 basically.
I would still be going to a good college if those were my grades.
Absolutely. At least part scholarship.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But I mean, there was a lot of, and I think that that's what's cool about being a comic, I guess, because I can just say whatever I want to say. Let me just back up. Like things that what Roseanne did, right? Like her defense, I'm a comic. I just, that's straight up racism. And don't get me wrong. I mean, my encounters with her have been only positive.
Right.
My personal dealings with Roseanne in my life have been amazing. But obviously you can't defend that. That's fucking terrible what she said. And we have free speech, but so when I say I can say whatever I want, it's within the realms of love.
Fair.
In the realm of love, I can do it. I can talk about my own personal things that I've done.
Yeah.
But I don't make fun of I joke around with Filipinos and stuff like that, but people know that there's nothing.
I don't think you're ever malicious either. I think that's
I'm not that mean, but I just say things. But
at the same time, do you ever get with your friends and you just bust each other's balls really badly?
Yeah,
I love doing that, especially with my brothers. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
we get so mean with each other, mean, and we love it.
Yeah, me and one of my best friends is Eric Griffin, right? And he was on Workaholics, but he's on that show I'm Dying Up Here. But he's one of my best friends. We play video games together. He's this big fat black guy, right? Yeah. And him and I just rip each other apart, all day. But the thing is that if we were to do that in public, in the realm of people didn't know us, they would feel uncomfortable. But the thing is that I think it's okay. If I was your friend, Mike, what are you?
Ecuadorian.
Yeah, Ecuadorian, you're right. But I would probably make fun of you. I'd say you're a pinto bean, but a fatter one or whatever. You know what I mean? But does that hurt your feelings? Okay, thank you. Because you look like a fat, hairy pinto bean.
That's fair.
You're welcome. And you're cute. In a heterosexual way.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because when I met you, I
said
that
is such the opposite of what you told him. That's so weird. You just called him a fat hair.
But can I just say why though?
You just turned to me and said, "Oh, look cute." How fucking?
Because I like him. That's why I think I like him more than I like you.
What the fuck?
Because the thing is that if I'm saying to somebody, right, you're a hairy pinto bean, right? There's more of a thing. So you should feel good about that. I have a bond with you.
Thank you.
All right, you hairy pinto bean. Saying somebody is cute is a little surfacey and bullshit.
That's why would you be mean to me?
I fucked your legs. I opened with your legs.
Dude.
I don't ever want, if I see you at TC, I hate it.
Why?
I hate your legs so much.
Thigh.
Look how pale it is.
It's so pale. I don't get it in the sun, man. I don't get it in the sun.
You have a girlfriend?
Oh, I don't, you know what? I like to leave that mysterious.
Okay. What?
Yeah.
So people don't know if you're seeing anybody.
No, just because I hate those those tabloid magazine things that get in people's business so much, and I don't care who people date, what happens in their relationship if they break up, because it's none of my fucking business.
Yeah, but I'm not fucking, dude. I'm not asking you who the fuck it is.
Yeah, but this is on air.
I know. I'm not saying who it is. I'm just saying.
Maybe.
Are you in a relationship? That's all I want to know.
Maybe not. Who knows?
Maybe or maybe not.
Yeah.
How about you, Mike?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
Great.
And I didn't even know that. Did you know that? Because I don't ask people about who they date. I didn't even know that. I've known him for how many months now?
4 months.
4 months. Don't even know.
How did you guys meet?
Mutual friend. And I asked my mutual friend, I was like, listen, I need a producer, a sound guy who can do the job very well, is on time, efficient, and he was like,
I know that Michael. Wow.
And Michael has been amazing.
No, you seem amazing. Is it a Bears jersey?
Yes, it is.
You're from Chicago?
Yes.
Oh, hi. You're so nice too.
Super nice. Too nice. I think he kills people.
Yeah. How old are you, Mike?
I just turned 30 yesterday.
You look great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Give me a compliment.
You're funny. You're very funny, sir.
Thank you, Mike. That doesn't seem sincere.
What? How long have you been doing Tiger Belly?
150 episodes or whatever. What it was I met my girlfriend. I'll talk about my girlfriend.
Great.
All right. I'll expose everything.
Do it.
I met this piece of shit. This piece of shit woman. No, I'm kidding. I love her. I met her on Tinder, and when Tinder came out, I went on a rampage, dude.
Really?
I was like,
killed a bunch of.
No, but in a sexual way.
Gotcha.
And I go, this is the greatest thing ever invented. Because the thing is that here's my thing with women, is I hate being rejected. I do. Okay.
You?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, because that's the one thing growing up I was never good at. Was because I was always small, kind of weird looking, and I was highly sexual. Not so much now as I get older, but in my early 20s, I was a fuck machine.
Like a bonobo.
Yeah, I was a bonobo, dude. And all day, you know what I mean? And but I couldn't, like, I would go, hey, you want to go out? And she's like, yeah, I don't date minority. Like, back in the 90s, in San Diego, back in the early 90s, people just didn't date, little Asian guys. Now, when I go on the road, I see them, like little Asian dudes that kind of look like me with a hot chick, and I'd be like, yeah, congratulations. But back in the day, it was a struggle. So, I learned how to pick up women at comedy clubs.
Right.
And this is an old comic named Jackson Purdue. And he goes, you know how you pick up girls? I go, well, how? And he goes, after your set, hang out by the women's bathroom. Right? So after you do a set, you hang out at the women's bathroom, not inside, but like in the entrance of it, right? And just leave. Yeah, no. I don't take a shit in the in the stall. You know what I mean? And he said, if a woman says that you're funny, right, that means that they want to have sex. I don't know if that's true.
Okay. But
that's what he said.
Yeah.
He goes, he goes, look at this. If a woman is in a relationship and she's there with a guy and she's in love, they won't come up to you and go, hey, I think you're funny.
Okay.
They'll just keep it to themselves. So he goes, if a woman actually just goes out of her way to say, hey, you're really fucking good, right? That means that they want to, that kind of worked for me for a while.
Right.
But Tinder, what it did is opened up, you look at your daily life, right? You have a routine, correct?
Yeah.
I wake up, you know what I mean? I shave my little ball of a body, or whatever you do. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It doesn't look like a shave.
Yeah, I know, I'm just kidding. But I'm gonna like not tan my legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go to your coffee shop or wherever you go. Oh, and then I'm gonna go do some errands. I mean, you just have this map. You have your personal life mapped out during the day.
Right.
And you only meet a certain amount of people, in your routine, right?
Right.
But Tinder opened it up. Like Kalila, my girlfriend, and I would have never met without Tinder because she was a nurse. She lived in Long Beach. She didn't really go to a lot of comedy shows, right? So we would have never met, right? So Tinder did that, and when I met her, right, she, I just went, oh my God, I think this is gonna be, because I just wanted to tap and go,
yeah,
But when I met her, as soon as I met her, I just knew this is gonna be a long thing.
Really?
Yeah, you could feel it.
Did she think that too, or was it just on you?
Yeah, I think we both felt it, and it's not like it's, I attribute my resurgence in my career to her. She is very good for me. I love her, and she's very good for me, and I'll tell you how she did it. I had this fear of auditioning. I just never did it. I hated it. And because I would like kill it one time, and then I would bomb. That's my biggest fear in life is auditioning. I'm not good at it. And so, there was a while where I just would not even go out. I would get like maybe 60 appointments a year.
Yeah.
And I'd go out for 5.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Wow.
I hated
that
it.
fear must have been intense.
It was because I used to have PTSD from it. Because I would bomb so bad in a room. I would just get nervous. And I was so desperate to get a job that it just wasn't working for me.
You just talked about this, I think, right?
I don't know. I talked about auditioning with Whitney. Maybe.
With Whitney, yes. Whitney was on
with
the show.
Whitney Cummings, yeah.
I was like, this sounds familiar.
Yeah, and but what she did was, one day I got an appointment for a pilot, and I read through it real quick, and I go, nah, I'm not gonna go in. And then Kalila was like, well, why? I'm not gonna get it. I said. She's like, I know, but you have to try. I'm not trying. I don't want to fail. And she's like, what are you, a pussy? I'm dating a pussy? So then what happened was, that night, I was supposed to go over my script, but I didn't. I played, I think Skyrim all night long. And then the next day, what my thing is that I say I'm going to go on an audition, but I sleep through it. And so 4 o'clock will come around, and my agent's like, do you go out? Oh, I slept through it. My bad. So what I did what Cloud did this morning, that particular morning, is she woke me up. She's like, okay, let's go to the audition. I'm going. I'm driving you there. And I go, oh yeah, but I didn't read it. I didn't work on it.
Whoa.
She said, I don't care. You're going to go in anyway. Right? So then we drive to, it was some NBC show. We drive to Burbank, and we're in front of the building. And I just said, I can't go in. So I don't know it. Like, I was playing Skyrim all night. And she's like, I don't care. You have to go. And we got in a fight. Like, we got physical almost.
Oh.
She, like, grabbed my shirt, like, get in there.
Ooh.
I'm like, fuck you, bitch. You know, it was crazy.
You hit her.
No, I didn't hit her. I didn't hit her. No, I didn't hit her.
I'm just kidding.
And then what happened was 30 minutes just went on. Of, like, you know. And she goes, I go, you know what? I'll go in there. I'm just going to read it off the page. And it's going to be a terrible day. You know, I was so negative about it and ugly about it. She goes, I don't care what you do. Just go in there. So I went in there, and I waited for like 45 minutes. You know how sometimes you have to wait for a while. And I went in there. I just read it off the page. Like, I didn't even know what I was saying, really. Right? I just kind of read it. And then I walked out. I got in the car, and I go, you happy? Right? You know, like that kind of thing. So we go back home, and I'm playing Skyrim, and then I get a call, you're testing. Right? And I looked at her, and she goes, see? I got the pilot. You know, I tested. Following, like, Monday. And she goes, so in that way, like, for, like, you know, the reason why I'm on this show now is because she made me read for, I get an audition for Love, which is Judd Apatow's show, right, on Netflix. And she goes, I go, it's like, I know Judd, you know, he's not going to give it to me. It's same thing. Same negative bullshit. And she's like, oh, you're going to go in anyway. I went in, and it was the wrong day. Like, I went the wrong day. So I showed up, and they're like, no, we're not reading that today. I go, since I'm here, can you just read me? And they knew me, Allison Jones, they knew me, so they read me. And then I got it, and then when Dean Holland, he was a director that we had, he left Love to start splitting up together with Emily Kapnick, right? And when they were looking for the part, they go, what about Bobby? And they're like, yeah, but he has to read. But I don't know what happened. I didn't read, but they just gave it to me. But that was all because of Love. So she, you know, she's completely, and the podcast, that's why I'm going down this road, is years ago, she's like, you should try a podcast. I go, no one's going to listen. It's that same bullshit, negative bullshit. I hate it. It's negativity. It sucks. It doesn't serve me. Right?
Do you meditate at all? Do you do anything?
Let me finish the story, man.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Fuck you, this fucking Deepak Chopra over here. Meditation.
Somebody's jealous of my legs right now.
Do you do yoga too?
I'm so flexible,
bro.
bro.
Oh my god,
dude.
I know you are. But she's like, I go, I don't want to do one. And then she went to Guitar Center and bought mics.
Yeah.
She goes, well, I want to do one on my own. That's what she said. She set up all the things.
Yeah.
And she got an engineer, like yourself, Mike. And she did 2 of them by herself. And then one day she was like, can you just do one with me? I go, and then we just did it. But, like, that's the thing. So what meditation? Yeah, I've meditated, fuckface.
I'm talking about the negativity in your life. Is there?
It's
just a constant battle?
I'm a comic. I think that it attributes to my comedy. Like, you don't do stand-up, right?
No.
Yeah, so it's like, it's a brutal world.
It is. What you guys do is insane.
No, but you don't know. You see people from, you probably know people that made it already, right? When you first start, the first 10 years, it's fucking gloomy, dude. It's not no fun times. It's gloomy times, man. I fucking, you would just wait around all night, to do 3 minutes, 2 in the morning at some sort of fucking bar on a Thursday. It's terrible. Yeah. No one's in the audience. Right? You do, like, hundreds of those things.
Then I'm sorry to interrupt, but why do it then? Is you love it, I'm assuming. That would be the only reason it continues.
No, man. No. Wesam. What it is that I don't come from your school. I'm gonna be a little combative, all right?
Please.
You're a nice Syrian boy, right? You probably took acting classes, correct?
Yeah.
Right? You grew up in LA or no?
No, I grew up most of my life in Oklahoma.
What?
Raised most of my life in the
Oh,
States.
that's cute.
Yeah.
And but like you took classes. People said you're good.
They said I was great.
You're
except-
great. You're great. You mean you came to LA, right?
Yeah.
You probably got a what? Would you get a commercial agent first, a manager? How'd you get to it?
Commercial agent first.
Well, yeah, commercial agent. So you probably booked a couple of things, right?
Yeah.
Right. And that gives you a little bit of confidence to go. You know what? I think I can do like bigger things now. So that's for me. I didn't start there. I started with. I was 23. I was working at a coffee shop. I didn't go to college. I don't know how to read,
Yeah.
really. I don't know how to count. I'm retarded. Okay?
You know
I
how to-
barely no, I barely know how to function. I don't know when the sun sets. What side does it set?
The West.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Yeah.
I just learned that just now.
Okay.
Like the clock where they have the hands,
Yeah.
the old school. I don't know how to read that.
For real?
For real, and I will refuse to learn. Don't tell me how to read it.
You don't know how to count the numbers?
No. I know how to do the.
Man, there's no way.
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
I swear to God.
Okay, all right.
Like
Okay,
if there was no digital, and people go, "Hey Bobby, what time is it?" I'd be like, "It's this." I put my hands up like this. It's like it's this time. Like I don't know it.
and they'd be like, "Oh, Bobby."
Yeah, and I'd be like, "No, I'm dumb." So like I'm 23. I'm working at a coffee shop. I don't know much about anything,
Yeah.
and I'm just sitting there going, I can't. No one will date me. I don't make a lot of money. I have no future. I don't know what I want to do. And should I just kill myself? You know what I mean? Like that's where I come from.
Whoa.
Right? And I'm like, I don't really have any friends. I don't know. I don't go on adventures. I don't have any hobbies.
Yeah.
And I don't know. This is not good. I'm futureless. You know, it's grim. I would go to this coffee shop called Zanzibar in Pacific Beaches in San Diego, and I would hang out there like 4 or 5 in the morning and play chess with like people and like drink coffee and write poetry. It was like dumb. Like that was me.
Wow.
And I would go to a lot of punk shows too back then. It was a pretty good scene in San Diego, and I had no future. And then one day, I go to this coffee shop to work, and this is before cell phones. And I showed up, and there was just like a sign that said, "We're closed forever." Like no one called me. So I'm looking at the sign, and I'm going, "This is it. This is the end." Yeah,
Jesus.
this quite possibly could be the end of me. Just depressed, you know. So I'm walking home because I lived like a couple of blocks away, and I walk by next door, which was a comedy club. It's called the Comedy Store, the one in La Jolla, and they had a help wanted sign.
Mm.
And I go, I know the guy in there because I used to get change from my coffee shop. Like, so I know the guy. I knocked on the door, and he was there. Fred Burns. He was a manager there. He was he had spinal bifida, so he had crutches. He was like this little drunk, this old man. He was very mean.
Oh.
You know, yeah. What do you want? You know, and I go, hey, there's a help wanted sign. It's me, Bobby from next door. And he opens the door and he goes, oh yeah, the weird Asian guy.
Yeah.
What do you want? I go, I want to apply. He goes, oh, will you wash dishes? I go, yeah. So I got a job there, and I would bar back at this comedy club.
Bareback?
Bar back, like just get like the bar. I'd bareback at this comedy store. What the fuck are you talking about? And they and then one night I was working on a Sunday, which was a open mic night. And at that time, like I kind of knew like the locals, comics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching open mic night. And I was going, you know what? You've always wanted to try it, you know. So and you have nothing. You should try. So I went up one Sunday, and it wasn't good, but it was you know what it is that here's the thing about when you have nothing and you you don't have any dreams, or you never imagined that you could do cool things. When you finally do something that's like you're taking a risk,
Yeah.
and you go up, you get an adrenaline rush that you've never felt before. Like, I'm not like a skydiver, or I don't camp, I don't hunt, I don't do anything to stimulate that side of my brain.
Yeah.
So when you're exposed to that kind of an adrenaline rush, it's you get addicted to it. And I was like, oh my God, that was so crazy. I can't believe I did that. That's the first thing you think.
Wow.
Right? Like, I can't believe, like, because, I wasn't in some plays in high school. I was in A Sound of Music. I played Kurt, like the middle white kid. But I ruined the play, I think. Because every time I would come out, people would laugh. You know how, like, Fraulein Maria would, like, introduce, the kids would come down the stairs? When I did this play in high school, I was the only Asian guy. They're all white, right?
Yeah.
And we'd walk down the stairs. You could hear the audience laugh. Because what the fuck is that Asian guy doing in the middle? You know what I mean? And I remember telling like the director or whatever, can we change the lines to justify why I'm there? Like when I introduce myself, I'm Kurt. I'm 13. I was adopted.
Right.
Like something to justify. And they're like, no, we're not changing. I go, you should, because it doesn't make any sense. He's like, I think people have suspension of disbelief, whatever. But they didn't. I would get an applause break laugh every time I would do this play. So that's the only exposure. So I had done like little bits and pieces. I had done some improv, in high school, and even after I graduated. But and then like 9 months later, I was doing open mics in San Diego, and this is in 1995. I was at an open mic, and Pauly Shore was there. And his mom owned the club. And this is in 95, so he was pretty big then. And he comes up to me and he goes, dude, like, I don't understand a word you're saying up there, buddy. I go, oh, I don't know. I get nervous. He's like, but there's something about you, buddy. Something weird. I like it. I go, okay. And then a week later, Fred Burns, the guy with the crutches, he goes, hey, Pauly Shore just called. You're opening for him in Vegas. This is like 9 months in.
Whoa.
Right? And I go, what do you mean? Like, I didn't know what it meant. You know what I mean? Like, do I drive out there? I mean, how does it work?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know how it worked. And he was just like, no, he's going to get you a flight. So he flew me to Vegas.
Wow.
Now, and now imagine, here's a guy, really, I've really performed in front of maybe 10 people at the most, 20, 30 maybe, And I show up, so he flies me to the Riviera, like in Vegas, and he was playing 5,000, 2 shows, 5,000 seats. And I'm there, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know how to perform in front of this many people. And his mom was there. So now his mom, Mitzi, she still ran the club at the time, and she, you knew who she was. She had a lot of power. She was somebody that people knew about, and she started a lot of people's careers. Everyone in comedy, really. And I was like, I really have to do well here. I mean, I can't. And I went up, and I did pretty good. I did 5 minutes. Wow. And for that many people, and she walks up to me after the show, and she goes, You're a paid regular at all my clubs. So I just, after 9 months, so now think, being where I was a year before, when I was like virtually on the precipice of death.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to live, And now I'm like, oh, I might have a future here, So it definitely was, when you walk through that kind of fear and you take big risks, what I find is it usually pays off. Not even necessarily in material things or career-wise. It changes something within you, right? And you realize that you have to take action. You have to go out and be vulnerable and invite failure almost. And that's what stand-up did for me. You know, I couldn't lock eyes with people before that because I was just so afraid of just, like, you know, if a cop pulled me over, I would just be, like, just looking at the dashboard. You know, I, like, couldn't lock eyes with authority or women or anyone that I found threatening. But after I did that, I could take on the world, man. I could, you know, that's when, like, I remember... So imagine, like, being 23, 1995, you know, no girls, whatever. And then one day, there was this beautiful girl sitting in the front row of, you know, because at the Comedy Store back then, I became a doorman, and when we became a doorman, you get to MC the weekend shows. So you would seat people, and then you go up and warm up the crowd. So I remember doing it on a Saturday night. There was a beautiful girl in the front. Her name was Jennifer. And I said, this is when Princess Diana died. And I remember, like, after the show, I go, I don't know why I said this to her, but I go, hey, you know, because she was visibly distraught that Princess Diana had died. I don't know why, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I just said, hey, I'm sorry, you know, it's bad news, you know. But, you know, I tapped her on the back.
Yeah.
And I walked away, and then that night I was closing up, and I get a call. Because we had no cell phones, by the way. And Fred goes, hey, there's a girl on the line. You know, and I picked it up. And she goes, hi, I'm that girl that you said, you know. And I go, oh, hi. And she goes, anyway, I just think you're really cute and really funny. And then, like, 2 days later, I'm, like, 69ing her in her closet. You know, she was living with her mom in Oceanside. And I was 69 in her, you know what I mean? And I was, like, and I had her, you know, it was just so hot. And we were, like, 69ing, and I'd never done that before. And I was going, oh my God, this is amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're 69 with a white chick, when you look like me, it's a real thing. It feels good.
Imagine.
It feels great. You know what I mean? But like that was like the beginning of, like, you know, like my life almost.
You know, you've really enlightened me.
Why?
In terms of your given circumstances of you growing up, you have a totally different life view. And to be completely frank with you, my respect for you has gone up even more than it started with during the beginning of the podcast.
Just now?
No, were you telling me how you grew up? No, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Despite your circumstances, you know what I mean? Yeah, there was, like, you were telling me about your dad, you know, shitty upbringing. You have no goals. It was scary. And then it seemed like life, the universe, just whatever cosmic entity was slowly giving you these, like, baby steps and be like, here. It was like, you know, what those where they leave the candy for the whatever, and then you just take one by one by one, and it's led you into this life right now, which is an amazing life, and you've got a great podcast. You've got a great partner.
My life is incredible, and I attribute it to, even like when I was talking about auditioning, having the fear and not going in. That's a part of it. It's like, you know, when I did go in. Yeah, I would have really bad ones, but every once in a while you would hit the ball and you would get the job, right?
Right.
It's all about, I mean, maybe this podcast, you know, today is about, you know, inspiring people to try things. You know? You don't seem like somebody, though, that, like, you just seem like you were always confident.
No.
No?
No. I'll tell you a little bit about my upbringing.
Yeah.
Since
I love
we're
it.
sharing right now.
Yeah.
My parents were supportive, absolutely. But I grew up in such a strict household. We owned a restaurant for the longest time for about 25 years.
Syrian food?
Subs, burgers, a little bit of Mediterranean food.
Yeah.
And I was working in there when I was 10, 11. Working.
Yeah.
You know, my dad came from a very hard background. Literally, both my parents just grew up in villages in Syria. Villages, you know what I mean? So just looking at their lifetime and what they've experienced, it's like bonkers. You know, from village getting water from a river to iPhone. You know what I mean? That's bonkers. But extremely disciplined, extremely strict. My parents were very hard on me on times. And at the time, I thought unfair. So I think what I found during my times of not being confident or scared, I found ways of being like sneaky or like cunning or trying to solve things with my mind, because I grew up being the smallest guy in my grade. As I got into high school, I stopped being picked on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd make people laugh. you know,
Right.
and make people like me, just be nice.
Yeah.
I think that's helped. But I've always been scared to try things. But like you said earlier, I think whenever you take those huge risks, it always pays off with something positive.
Yeah.
Even if you don't get it right away or the thing, something else happens, it seems like.
Well, you change internally, I think.
Absolutely.
Is what I'm saying. It's like, there's something inside you that just subtly changes, and you're not even aware of it until later, really, And it's like a warrior kind of spirit or something that like gets lit on fire,
Like trial by fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my scariest moments of my life,
Yeah.
when I packed all my stuff into my car and I drove from Oklahoma to LA.
Wow.
I know that doesn't sound...
It is scary.
No,
of
okay.
course it...
Oh, I thought you were being sarcastic right
no,
there.
I wasn't being sarcastic because I'll tell you why it's scary, because your parents, like, from what I just heard, are Syrian, right?
Yeah.
They own a restaurant.
Right.
But they have no connections to show business.
No.
Like, your dad doesn't know agents or anything like that, right?
No.
They're just regular immigrant parents, right?
Right.
Same with mine, okay? So when you come to LA and you have no connections whatsoever, and you show up and you're in an apartment, you probably had roommates, right? And you somehow were able to, like, get an agent, get a manager, I don't know what you have, and audition for, like, real, like, you're on a really big... Who does the show?
It's Shonda Land.
Shonda, right?
Yeah.
She's like one of the biggest, like, executive producers out there,
Yeah.
right? And you're able to get a show like that is insane. It really is. It's like, it's almost like it's a dream. You won the lottery, but you did that.
With a lot of help on the way. And appreciative help.
Yeah, but you know what? You showed up to LA and you started from the ground up. And I'm not taking away from, other people. Like I know a lot of guys that, have parents in the business. It's a little easier because they know the rules at least. They know how it works. But when you don't, when you move to LA and you don't know how it works, like how do you get from nothing and to be on TV? How does that work? And it seems impossible.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, imagine you come to LA, you don't know anybody, and you're like, how am I going to get successful here? It seems impossible, but, you figure it out, right? And that's what you did.
Yeah. I just remember so vividly the drive, like with all my stuff in these plastic containers, and I hit the mark where it's the furthest I've ever gone by myself outside of driving out of Oklahoma.
That's what happened in Lord of the Rings. When Pippin and Merry, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
well, no, I think Sam says.
Sam.
Yeah, Sam says, this is the farthest I've ever, that's what you did. You did a Sam.
I did. And then
Samwise Gamgee, dude.
my migraine set in, and then my heart started racing because I was like, oh, my God. Like, I'm in the desert now, and I'm like,
wow.
Why am I doing this? I'm an idiot. This is
Yeah.
the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. Like, if you really think about it, you start breaking it down.
It's
you're
dumb.
like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Why did I major in theater performance with a minor in philosophy? Worst majors to
Yeah, sure.
But we're still alive, Bobby.
But you did it.
For now.
I know, but it's so funny that you say that because it's like my dad and mom, they grew up during the Korean War when they were kids. And my mom, when she was like 8, she walked her sister to school, and her sister got run over by a military truck, and like her body split in half. And and then my mom had to run back up to tell my grandparents that her sister had died. And then like back in the war, my uncle had to pick up like her remains and put them in these rice bags, and they had to bury my aunt, And you hear stories like that, and you go, and then for them to come to America, they did it in their own way, right? They came to America not knowing the language, right? Not knowing how it works, and they worked hard. They had me and my brother and I, and their kids are doing pretty good, So they had their own. It's similar in many ways with your story. They had to do their own, journey and risk taking, and that's what's great about America, I guess, is that immigrants can come here, have kids, and their kids can be on TV shows.
That by itself
is insane.
When I see my dad watching me on TV,
Yeah.
it's his smile and his look is just like, oh my God, I'm going to start crying. But it's just like, it's the best feeling in the world.
It is, yeah.
Because he sacrificed so much for us, and to see that come like full circle, it's incredible.
It's incredible, yeah. My parents don't even understand what's even going on in the show that I'm on now. They go, how come, where do you live? Like, because they don't show where I live in the show, right? So they go, where do you live? I go, I don't know. They don't have that. She's like, but do you sleep outside? I go, no. I mean, I assume the character has a house. What do you do to make money in your character? I go, I don't know. They didn't write that in that yet. Oh, I see. You know what I mean? So they don't understand.
Yeah.
How come, they're so nice. The white people, they're so nice. You're his friend? Yeah, I'm his friend. How? What? I go, I don't know. But they ask like innocent questions about what the fuck is going on. They don't know what's going on, but they do know that their kid is on TV, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that's really like real to them. Mm-hmm. They don't really know the storyline. Or the funny thing is that my dad, when I did Leno, he doesn't know how it works, right? So he called me the next day and he goes, "Oh, I'm so proud of you." I go, "Thank you." He goes, "Did you pay them?" Like he thought that I paid to the Tonight Show to go on. That's how little he knows, right? He thinks that like Tom Cruise goes on there and goes, "Here's $1,000. Thanks for having me on." Right? No, I go, "No, they paid me," and it blew his mind. They pay you? And I go, how? You go, how did you? I go, I don't know how. I mean, I did shows around LA, and Mark and Bob, the guys that were booking at the time, saw me and they go, "Yeah, this kid can do it," So, so my parents don't know anything really, but they know that, I send them a check every month.
Yeah.
And they know that I'm doing pretty good, So, it feels good to do that for them,
Absolutely.
Right?
Feels like the right thing to do.
It's the only thing to do. It really is the only thing to do.
Dude, you...
What? Don't get all weird, man.
Mr. Lee...
With your legs. Don't do your leg thing right now. Yeah.
No, man. Seriously.
Do you have a girlfriend? Don't be a fucking asshole, man.
This is my show, Bobby!
I know, but just give me a wink if you
You're
do.
older than me. I shouldn't yell at you. That's really disrespectful. Because you're like 62, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
47.
You're 30. It's fine.
It's fine.
Because the thing is that, let me say this to you, fuckface.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Yes, sir,
That's
be 47.
Yeah.
Right? And still be in the business. That it's tough.
Of course.
To constantly get it, be juggling, is hard. All right? So, take that, fuckface.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? In your face, dude.
And you have, like, a much more popular podcast.
Nah, come on, man.
It is. What are you talking about? It's super popular. Millions of viewers.
It's fine. Not millions. $1 million download a month. That's fine.
That's pretty good.
I bite my nails, man. This is not good.
Why? Oh my gosh!
Bloody,
this is bad.
I just.
My brother does that.
He does?
Yeah, and I tell him to stop.
My agent doesn't have nails. Like he bit his nails to the point where there's no nails. Yeah, and there's a Band-Aids around it. Like
that's your agent?
That's my agent. Yeah, wow. That's why I love him.
That's
because he stresses out for us. I want my agents to stress out for me. That's another thing. Is like when I think about I'm with CAA and I've been there for 10 years, and to be with like an agent that big too is like very difficult to maneuver. Who reps you?
Joseph Lee.
What's that?
He was with ABA.
Yeah.
And he left Start His Own. He's been like an older brother, always giving me the right advice at the right time, and he's helped me build.
But that's great because he got you that audition, right?
And with Stagecoach Entertainment Management, one of the best management companies.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's how you got in. Have the biggies come up to you and say sign?
No, but honestly, I maybe off air we can talk about that. But
Yeah. Okay. He doesn't like personal shit. I love it.
Yeah.
I love you. You're classy. You're very classy.
Okay.
You remind me of Sebastian
Sebastian who?
Maniscalco. You know him?
No. Who's that?
You don't know Sebastian Maniscalco? No. You know Sebastian Maniscalco?
Composer?
No, Maniscalco is a stand-up.
Oh.
And you guys are similar in the way of like, have you seen, you got to watch him. He's the best. Well, he's he was in Forbes a couple years ago.
Oh.
He's one of the biggest paid comics
Whoa.
in the world. That kid.
Great jawline.
He's great jawline. He's Italian, but he has your vibe.
Oh, okay.
Which is he's very private,
Eh.
but he's classy, and I really believe that he's one of the best comics in the world right now because of the fact that he's observational, but he does it in a way that's physical. He's very talented, that guy.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to YouTube
He's
him.
killing the game. This guy is killing the game, and he's coming in. He's coming out in a bunch of fucking movies.
Oh, The Irishman, is that the?
Yeah, he's in The Irishman.
Yeah.
With De Niro and Pesci. But he's killing the game right now. I'm so proud of him. I've only been to 2 weddings, his and Dr. Ken's.
How's been working on splitting up together? I met Jenna Fisher at the Upfronts, and she was just an
Sweet
amazing person.
sweet as a button.
Can I tell you my awkward story with
Yeah,
her?
tell me.
So I watch The Office probably every single time I'm going to eat a meal. I like just watching The Office. It's just one of those comfort things.
Sure.
And when I saw her at the Upfronts, I was like, I rarely get like nervous, like where I'm like stuttering or something like that. And went up to her, started talking to her, congratulating her on the show. Immediately started sweating,
Yeah.
like the back sweat. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, cool. And then I tell her nice to meet her, and then because like other people started coming in asking her for pictures, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, like I could tell like she wanted to continue it, but she was like, I'm sorry, kind of thing. And I was like, oh, it's fine. I walked away. I was like, fuck, I need a picture.
Yeah.
I need a picture.
I know you will. You got one?
Oh, I went back.
You did.
Dude, so embarrassed the way I said it is such a weird way. I go like, can I get a picture? Like the most weird way, and she did it with me, and like she got the picture with me, and she was so nice.
But there's something about you because I met you that night too.
Upfronts in New York, or
you went to the Upfronts in New York.
Yeah. This was like last year. But
did you go this year too?
No, because I'm West Coast based. I didn't want to fly out there just for the Upfronts.
Oh, you could fly yourself out?
Yeah.
Because I've never been invited.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I heard about it on the podcast.
Yeah. Like 2 times now there was Upfronts for my show.
Yeah.
Not invited. It's fine. I have no resentments.
Well, you should just go.
No, but I didn't think you could just go.
You should get like.
I feel like I should be invited. It's fine. ABC, thanks for the job. You know, but here's the thing about her and Oliver and everybody. Yeah, I'm a fan, but like I talked about like the gaps I've had in showbiz where I'm just doing the road, and so for me, I can't look at someone like Jenna and go, oh my God, she's Jenna Fisher. I had to kind of pretend that I'm at the same level.
Okay.
Right? Or I'll just get weird, So I just kind of show up, and I'm very good friends with everyone. We get along so well. I mean, they've all seen my stand-up. We've hung out. Oh, nice. It's great. You bond with your castmates.
Yes.
And I love every single person involved, but I can't, go, oh my God, that's Jenna Fisher from The Office. I have to go, oh, there's a girl I work with, or Oliver, like Oliver Hudson's mom is Goldie Hawn, his stepdad's Kurt Russell, his sister's Kate Hudson,
Right.
And in my head, I can't go, oh, there's Goldie Hawn's son. I have to go, oh, there's that fuckface I work with.
Ah, fair.
And I treat him that way.
Yeah.
And it works better for me. Because if it's like, I don't want to live in the results of anything, And what I mean by that is that, in my head, if I say, oh, I'm on a show, then, and I'm killing it, then I go, oh, then I start, like, thinking about the future. I'm going to buy this house, this and that, you know what I mean? And I should be this and that. So I just kind of go, No, I just pretend that I'm like in a community theater play.
Okay.
Yeah, and it works for me.
That's such a good self-awareness thing that you have.
Yeah, I just can't do it because it's like I'm friends with David Spade and some of these guys.
Yeah.
And like if I see Spade like 2 or 3 times a week, and I never think it's David Spade. I always think there's Dave.
Yeah.
I call him Dave, right? You know, every once in a while I'm like around, like Adam Sandler used to have these Christmas parties, and I used to go, I'm going to Adam's Christmas party, but not Sandler. You know, I just have to like kind of do that for myself because if I think, oh my God, there's so and so, like I've done that before. Like when George Carlin was alive and I was a doorman at the Comedy Store, oh my God, that's George Carlin. And then he would go, hello. He would call me Mr. Lee every time. He goes, hello, Mr. Lee. I go, hi, hi. Like I would like act weird.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there's a legend. You know what I mean? Or like Richard Pryor used to come in when I was young.
Wow.
And we used to carry him on stage because he was sick. And I would be so nervous, you know what I mean, that I would carry it weird, like tilt it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to fall. You know what I mean? Like, I would get so nervous. So, like, my new psychology thing now is just go, oh, there's Rich.
Yeah.
You know? That's all.
That's actually a very smart thing to do.
Like, I don't even look at you. Like, I can't look at you and go, oh, that guy's on for the people.
Yeah.
You know? I can't do that. I have to go, oh, there's that fucking, you know what I mean, googly-eyed guy that I met at the TCA or whatever.
Who's cute.
But I wanted to say this about Jenna Fisher. Is like, you did the same with me, but there's something about you that it's not intrusive. Like, I was sitting there, I remember, and you sat next to me. When we sat next to each other.
Yeah.
And it just felt so comfortable. Like, oh, this guy's like, a comfortable young kid that like knows who he is. And yeah, it wasn't intrusive at all. I kind of walked away going, oh, I like that guy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm glad.
And I'm sure Jenna felt the same way.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah.
Do you like your own show?
I love my show, man.
You do?
I love it for this reason. First of all, we get to tell stories that are not only entertaining, but also enlighten people about certain problems that are going on socially. Which I know sounds very
I like it.
cliche, but it's the truth. That's what I love to do with my work. And then on top of that, my crew and my cast are some of the best human beings I've ever gotten to work with. Hardworking, on time, diligent, decent human beings.
Yeah. Wow.
Very rare.
Is it your first series regular job?
No.
What were you on before?
I had booked a pilot last in 2016 for Fox, and then I had a long time recurring role on MTV's Awkward.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I played like the goth kid.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But this is your real series, like regular series.
On network, yeah.
Yeah. So how did you feel good?
Yeah.
No, but you wake up in the morning and go, yeah.
I wake up going, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Because it's a rare entity, dude. It's like, remember, the TV that as we know it is going to be gone one day. It's slowly slipping away. I literally, after Animal Practice, I was on that vet show. I thought to myself, oh, that's it. That's the last of these types of shows. And when I got this, I was so shocked. I was like, oh my God, I got it on this. This is unbelievable. So, I think the pay is going to be different, as we go on. I think it's going to be less. The more, shows that are out there, the more channels, the more options people have, there's going to be more opportunity, which is great, but the money will be less.
I agree with you on that end.
Yeah. So I'm very grateful for what I have. We got picked up for 13 more, and they axed.
Oh, great.
Yeah, they axed a lot of shows, man.
9.
They axed 9 on ABC.
ABC alone. 9.
Yeah, a 9, and
8 or 9. Sorry.
They didn't pick up.
Well, 10 now.
What? Like what? Oh, Roseanne. Yeah, you're right.
And I heard talks they're trying to do a spin-off with Darlene.
It's not gonna work. When that happened, what were you thinking?
First of all, I thought that, like, just that tweet alone, I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why would you do it? Why? Hey,
It's so irresponsible and dumb.
malicious. Like, for what reason?
It's not just that. It's just that, hey, Roseanne, you were in purgatory, right? We didn't see you in anything for so long, and now here you are on the biggest show that ABC has, and you sabotaged it by just being a bigot, you know. And it's also on top of that, it's like how you're a Jew, you're a Jewish person. I mean, that sounded weird. You're a Jewish person, right?
Right.
How could you even say that out of your fucking mouth?
Well, Joe Rogan tweeted the Ambien tweet. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
And do you listen to his podcast regularly?
I've
If
done
not,
it, but I mean, I don't listen to it, no.
I listen to it regularly, and he's told stories about the use of Ambien, and even in his stand-up, he has an Ambien bit. Dude, people do... I'm not defending her actions at all, but there is scientific proof and scientific evidence. Let me...
I know, I'm hearing you. I just need to close my eyes.
Okay.
Because I have a rebuttal.
Please.
I know, but I'm going to let you finish.
Let me finish.
Can I close my eyes, though?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let me close my eyes.
People have done crazy things while they've been on Ambien, things that they don't have 100% control of. However, can you
I'm listening.
habits form subconscious thoughts, right? You know, your habits, they form patterns in you, right?
Hurry.
And oh my, Bobby!
Just hurry. Habits. Yeah.
So she's tweeted stuff like this in the past before, right?
Yeah.
Roseanne.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of developed into her habits of just doing things without thinking about it. And then when she tweeted this thing on this Ambien, as she supposed, I'm not defending her. I'm not saying it's okay, but I don't know, man. It's just possible that this sounds bad. Like I'm defending her for.
You're not defending
Ambien.
her. To go, keep going. I get what you're saying.
But Rogan tweeted that, and then people thought that Rogan. That's the whole reason I brought it. People thought that Rogan was defending her actions because she was on Ambien. Because so many people were saying.
Can I drink this water?
Yeah.
You're giving me a panic attack.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
really?
kidding. Go ahead.
No, but that's all. And yeah, I just feel like
Okay.
people go to the extremes of things so quickly, and I just don't feel like that's fair without hearing out the whole story.
100%.
That's all I'm saying.
Let's suppose
That's all
you're
I'm
right.
saying.
Let's suppose you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. That Ambien did it.
Okay.
Okay. And she's been in this problem before. She's had this problem before, right?
Yeah.
Has she blamed Ambien before?
No.
Okay.
I don't know if she has. If she's blamed Ambien before, probably not.
Okay. But I bet you money though, right? She's taken Ambien before.
Sure.
Right? And she knows how she gets.
Okay. Fair.
She probably took Ambien and went to a party and spouted her mouth off because she was on a Ambien delusion.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, that's what happens sometimes when I'm on Ambien."
Right.
Okay. I got sober 16 years ago. Why? Because when I'm on drugs, right, and I'm doing things of that nature, and I'm in my disease, I put myself in predicaments that have heavy consequences. Okay, I don't show up to table reads. I'm, volatile. I'm untrustworthy.
Right.
And all these things happen. And when I'm on drugs, I receive extreme consequences. I got fired from MAD my second year in. That's how I got sober. I got lucky that I got a second chance.
Right.
Okay, but she knows, right, that drug does that for her, so she should either not take the drug, Ambien.
Yeah.
Or when she's on it, turn your phone off, right? And just have that consciously you're aware that those things happen. But for me, it's like you cannot be on a TV show and compare African American people to monkeys.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what you get. And there's no justification for it. You know, you can blame whatever you want. But for me, it's like, I was a real asshole and I did some really fucking suspect, some shitty things when I was using. And I quit because of the fact that I could foresee me being in a situation where I was fired, like legitimately fired from a network show, or not being able to do stand-up ever again because of my behavior. So I stopped. I stopped that behavior. And luckily, but let me say this.
Yeah.
When I was using and I said something like that and I got fired from a show and then I couldn't ever work again, I would know in my head that I did that. I made the choice of living in that lifestyle, and these are the consequences.
Yeah.
I think that Yeah, I feel bad when I see homeless people, you know? And a lot of them have mental disorders, right? Like schizophrenia or, you know, something of that nature. And there's just no other, they didn't have the, you know, the support group around them or what, I don't know what, you know, makes someone homeless. But I'm going to say something controversial. There are, I feel like there's a point in everyone's life where there is help, and you have to recognize that help.
Okay. Why is that controversial? Do you think?
Because I don't want to make it seem like, you know, I feel bad for homeless people. I don't want to make it seem like it's their fault that they're homeless. It's not. Okay, it's not their fault because of, you know, their socioeconomic upbringing or the circumstances in her life that I'm not even aware of because I don't know everybody, right?
Right.
You know, I don't know those things, and I'm sure, but I also know that, you know, there are some points in people's lives when you're, you know, down and out, where there is a hand that's being reached down to you, and a lot of people don't take that, right? And I took it. I took that hand, you know, because I realized that if I don't take this, it might be the end for me. I might not get another hand. So I don't know Roseanne's personal life and stuff, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, there have been people that said to her, like, hey, watch it. You know, and for her to do that is undefensible, I think.
I know you're not.
I know you're not
saying what she did. Was
I know you're not.
Okay, I just want to say that on air.
I know.
For the people, the crazy people.
I will even back you up. Wesam didn't say that. You know, he was just giving a theory. And you know what? Joe's probably right. Yeah, Ambien probably does that to you. But, you know, don't take Ambien then.
What I was saying, I'm trying to make this clear too. You know, you know, whenever you have certain habits or you start thinking about something, it just lives in your subconscious. And then when you start to lose all control, you know, like I used to eat a lot.
Yeah.
When I was younger.
Yeah.
I'd wake up making sandwich was like one of the craziest things, and then boiling water for mac and cheese was one of the craziest things.
In a sleep almost.
In a sleep, and I'd wake up and I was like, oh,
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man.
Right.
I think there's some things that she does have control over that she should have been more aware of, and I think you're right that maybe that hand had come down to tell her, hey, you need to stop.
There is this. So can I just say this? There is this, and when you just said that, there is this.
Okay.
Being ethnic, right, in America, right, and I don't know why, and this is probably wrong, but I do relate to the plights of certain other ethnic groups. Like, you know, when, you know, African Americans are being pulled over cops and they're treated badly, you know, I just associate myself with, I put myself in their shoes, and I get angry for them.
Right. Because
I feel like being a minority, you know, I just, you know, relate, you know, even though we get treated differently than African Americans with cops. I don't get mistreated, you know. I think in the KKK's list of, you know, ethnics, we're 7th.
Yeah.
So if there was like, you know, if the KKK was going to go down the list and destroy all, you know, minorities, we would be the last person that they would do, like group, right?
In the States.
But in the States, yeah. But for me, I still, so like when I've talked about other races on my podcast, like Hispanics and blacks, and I'll make fun of them because I have that, I feel like I'm a part of them, that I can do that, but it gets interpreted as being racist. Because I'll slam on an Asian guy or the Japanese, and then I'll do a slam on a black guy or a Mexican guy, and then some Mexicans are like, hey, you're not allowed to do that. And then I want to go, well, I'm a minority too. And they're like, nah, but you're not our kind. And I go, oh, my bad, right? There is something to say that because Roseanne is Jewish, that she may be able to, and she's a comic, I just listen to my theory.
I mean, I'm just thinking.
Yeah,
while
just
you're
listen to
saying
my
it.
theory.
Can I
right?
close my eyes while you're saying?
Yeah. You close your eyes. There could be something in there where she's like, well, we were the most oppressed, I guess, the Jews, because of the Holocaust and whatnot, and that I'm also a comic, and I feel like I can say things that other people can't say. I'm also on Ambien, and all that stuff comes into play.
Yeah.
But still, you can't do it.
You know what? After you saying that out loud, that just sounds so insane. It's like, no, she's 100% guilty. Like,
there we go. That's all. Yeah. That's all I wanted to say.
You know what? I'm glad we talked this out.
Yeah.
Because even with the Ambien excuse, it's like whenever I see a drunk person and they do crazy shit and maybe they break something, I was like, oh, that's still your fault.
There we go. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Yeah. There we go.
We had to talk it out.
We talked it out. And I was also, just in my head, trying to think it through to see if I can justify her.
And that's okay.
It's okay to do that in America.
That's what I hate. Hey, you know what? This is what bugs the hell out of me when the people go to the extreme or the other extreme and they don't talk about it. They don't think.
Yeah, we're trying to think it through.
Okay. Rogan tweeted that. Let's actually look into that. Maybe
Yeah,
there's some truth to that.
yeah.
Well, we're saying it out loud. You know what?
I love Joe Rogan. I think he's one of the best podcasts in the world. I don't agree with everything that he says.
That's fine.
When I'm around him, and I'm around him a lot.
Yeah.
I do agree with everything he says. Right? Because he's just like an alpha male, and he has such clout in the comedy business. But he hunts. I don't believe in it. But when he shows me photos of hunting, I go, oh, that's cool. Because he is who he is. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
you don't eat meat?
I do, but
okay.
yeah, I do, and I think in that way, he's right. I just I don't want to eat meat.
That's
I don't want to. I want to get to a point where I don't eat it.
That's great.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree. Everything that I do eat is been slaughtered in probably in a worse way, but I still don't believe in hunting for some reason.
That's
Is that weird?
You're on your journey with it.
Yeah, I'm on my journey with it.
Because this is something you need to experience on your journey.
I don't agree with everything Mark Maron says either. I don't agree with a lot of my friends that I know.
Yeah.
I know that Mark and those guys, they look at me in a certain way in comedy, and I look at them in a certain way in the field.
Yeah.
And I know there's supposed to be these things, these entities, like, they're huge, they're big, their voices are the loudest in right now in comedy. But a lot of times, sometimes I don't agree with them.
I think that's so important.
I think it's important as well.
Because your perspective is so narrow in life, and it's so important to have somebody from a completely different perspective. That's why I
like Carlos Mencia, for instance. Carlos Mencia and what the trouble he got into?
Yeah.
A lot of people in comedy are they've lynched him, and they hung him out to dry. And, in the comedy's point of view, he's done. Okay? I don't necessarily agree with the fact that he shouldn't have another chance. Because I see a different side to him. He helped me out a lot in comedy growing up. Him and Paulie. I opened for those guys in the 90s, late 90s. I would go out one weekend with Paulie. I would go out one weekend with Carlos. And the agent that I have is because of Carlos. Matt, and that's why I'm with CAA, is because of with Carlos. When I didn't have a car, Carlos bought me a car. When I couldn't eat, he would give me money to eat. And a lot of comics did that for me, but especially him. And what he did, stealing jokes, was wrong. He did it. I'm not justifying that. I think that he should deserve some sort of consequence. But to say that he's evil, to say that he has no, he should never come back, I don't agree with. But that's where he is right now. But, and when all that shit was going down with him, I abandoned him. I did. I didn't stick out for him because I was being lynched as well, being associated with him.
Wow.
And so I backed away, and I abandoned him for years. Didn't talk to him for years. And in retrospect, I think I had to do it because this is back when comments and before, if this would have happened in the 70s and 80s, because Robin Williams was a thief.
Oh.
Yeah, they called him Robin Jokes Williams. I mean, he used to have a hotline where if a comic thought that he stole a joke, you would just call it and go, he stole this joke, and they would send you a check.
No.
Yeah.
Are you like a real check?
Yeah. There were comics like Stephen Pearl who used to show up at comedy clubs with a bat to beat his legs in because he would steal jokes.
Whoa.
So back then, if Robin would have done that now, he would not have a career. But back then, there was no internet. There was no, you could behave in certain ways. I think the demise of Bill Cosby is because of now we're such an open world and people can talk about it. But he got away with murder and raping, and he did those things. But back then, there was no internet, right? There was no police. You could kind of get away with being a fucking cocksucker and evil. Mm. But I'm just saying that, like, what he did was wrong, but I'm just saying that Carlos has some good traits too.
Yeah.
And when I say that, even right now, probably people are bringing out their fucking, their torches and their fucking spears, and and getting angry. But I believe that. I believe that he's a decent guy, but he stole jokes, and that's wrong. But he, and if he's still, I don't know what he does now. I don't know if he's still stealing. And if he is, that's bad on him, but
why can't it be both those things?
Why can't but that's the thing.
And I hate when people, what's it called? Trial by, oh gosh. And automatically we think someone's guilty, and it's like, fuck you, go to hell, you burn forever, you're done, bye. It's like, well, wait a minute, haven't you gotten a second chance in your life? Haven't you got a third chance, a fourth chance? Yeah, people lynch.
If there's the people, become judge and jury, and they persecute you online, and it's over without a trial. I mean, and that's the age that we live in now.
It's too easy for people to do this.
Yeah, people do that. Yeah, and they ruin people. But like, I don't know, like this Morgan Freeman, stuff. I don't know. To me, I've never really had heard anything before this. I don't know people's personal, experiences with Morgan Freeman. But let's not be quick to judge yet until the evidence comes out, is all I'm saying.
I think that's a fair statement.
Is it? Because I feel like when I just said that, I got scared. I got scared.
I don't know the whole story.
Got scared for saying that. Because now when I said that, I was just like, oh my God, am I going to, there's always that. He may or may not. I don't know. Right? I don't know. Harvey Weinstein did it. Because, he's on trial, and there's, there's so many accusers, and there's just so much evidence that it's, over the years I've read things and seen testimony and stuff. I feel like I have enough information to make that choice. He's a criminal.
Deserves to be punished. Absolutely.
Okay? Bill Cosby is a criminal. These are crimes that he committed.
Same.
Right? Rape is no joke. It's up there. It's probably one of the worst things you can do. With Morgan Freeman, I don't have enough evidence yet to make that decision. That's all I'm saying. And just by even saying that, it's scary.
I haven't even read up a ton about it. I saw some of the accusations real quickly.
I mean, I saw one where it was like, no. I mean, when we look what, in an interview, where he kind of was supposedly being a creep, and he was flirting, but he's an older male. I flirt, and I'm in a relationship. I mean, I'll go, hey, and, nice shoes. I was like, thank you.
Yeah. You flirted with me at the TCA.
Yeah, and I'll look at, so I've been accused, and I've looked at girls from top to bottom. Wow, she's hot. Is that a crime? I don't know. You know,
think
it may be. I don't know.
I don't think that's sexual assault.
Yeah, that's the thing. Throwing it out there and going, you know, being an older man, you can be pervy, right? But like, you know, when Louis C.K. lured two comics into a room and jerked off in front of them, you know, is weird and gross and undefensible, you know. But is he a great comic? One of the best.
But he's still.
He is one of the best.
Yes, I get what you're saying. But again, that act though is like he was using his position of power.
He is, and what he did was
as an abuse of
yeah,
power.
yeah, yeah. And what he did was wrong. And that's a crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
there's shades of gray to this.
There's all shades of gray, and I'm sweating now.
No,
you
why?
think your back is sweating? My back is sweating because I've been in trouble before myself.
Yeah.
I've been in trouble for saying things and then having to apologize, and you know, that's why I'm kind of thinking through everything I'm saying right now.
On set, I have a very even in our kind of dialogue right now. I feel like I'm comfortable with you, right? Maybe if we hung out off air, you'll get to know my sense of humor a little bit more. It's a little darker. You know what I mean? We get more comfortable. More than half of the things we would joke around, I wouldn't mention if I was on set. When I'm on set, it's just like,
oh no,
I'm PG, I'm the G guy.
They think I'm a Christian on my set. I swear to God, I literally, if the way I behave at the Comedy Store and how I behave on a set, is so different. It's like a polar opposites. I'm myself at the Comedy Store. You know, I'll go up to Chris D'Elia and squeeze his butt cheek and go, nice ass.
Yeah, but you're friends with him.
Yeah, I'm friends with him, and Chris will go, ha 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 ha, and we'll giggle like little schoolgirls.
Yeah,
right. I feel like, you know, but I would never do that on a set.
Mm-mm.
I would never. I mean, I'm. Dude, one morning, the one bad thing I did with Splitting Up Together, and this was a nightmare, was I had a 6 a.m. call time. Right.
Wow.
So I wake up that morning, and I'm like, there's something in the living room. Something not right. My dogs were going crazy.
Wow.
And I walked in the living room, and there's a guy from my show in my house.
What?
Right. I go, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, it's 10:30. I go, what? I go, what? Now, granted, check this out. Sure, I'm sure people have been 4 hours late to their job, which is, you know, a human mistake. But it's extra scary when it's a TV show, and my scenes that morning was all with Jenna and Oliver, and so they had to do their coverage. They had to rearrange the whole day. They had to do their coverage first, bang out some exterior shit, and work around me. And it was so funny because Oliver, when I was in the car now, because they drove me to set, that guy.
Yeah.
When he was driving to set, I had my PJs on, and I'm just like calling my agent, going, "Am I fired? What the fuck? I've never been in this shit. I've never been here before. Like I feel like shit." He's like, "Yeah, just do a good job. We'll just figure it out, right?" And then Oliver texted me a photo of Dr. Ken, as if to say he's on standby. But that's when I was like, "Oh, this is a cool shit." You know what I mean? Like he's making fun of me. You know what I mean? But I remember being there and just apologizing to people. But then I saw the executive producer, and I just didn't want to confront it. You know.
Yeah.
So I was there for it's 10 hours, right? And because we're doing this party scene, and I'm sitting there all day long. I've been sitting there just shooting my shit, and then the executive producer walks up to me from behind, right? And I thought she was gonna yell at me or whatever, and she takes her hand and she places it on my shoulder for 3 seconds, and she does a little squeeze, and she just walked away. And in that one touch, she communicated so much to me. You know what she communicated? You're okay. I'm not mad. Don't let it happen again. With one squeeze of the shoulder.
Dude.
I know.
Dude, that is so classy, first of all.
I know, but what would you have done?
if I was 4 hours late,
Yeah.
probably kill myself.
Right?
I'm no,
It's
no
I
joke.
know, it's the worst feeling
People
in the world.
people don't understand who are not in the acting business. Like, I am Mr. Punctual. No joke.
Yeah.
I have been maybe at the like 15, 30 minutes early constantly to set because that's how paranoid I am
Yeah.
about being late.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something, my friend. There's nothing scarier. 4
I-
hours, there's nothing fucking scary.
I'm buying food trucks every day for the rest of the run of the show.
But you know what I did the next morning?
What?
I had a 6 a.m. again. Right?
Don't tell me you're late.
No. No. So that night I got wrapped and I called my agent, my manager. I go, Kalila's phone's on, my phone's on. I went to Best Buy right before and I bought another clock. I had 15 things going. I had our phones on. I had 5 alarms in the room.
Wow.
Right? I got so paranoid. And then I didn't even sleep. I just laid there in bed that night. Like, because I have this clock that that has a hologram on the ceiling. So I'm just laying there looking at the time. 2, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I didn't even close my eyes. 5 a.m. I'm up. I went. I was so tired that day, but I thought to myself, that's how horrifying that feeling was.
The worst feeling in the world.
Yeah.
Dane Cook did a great bit.
About sleeping. Yeah, I've not seen that bit. Yeah, it's so funny.
That was one of the first comedy bits I've ever hurt laughing listening to on the CD, like old school. Where he's like 6.5 hours late to his Blockbuster job.
I have another thing to say about Dane Cook. Can I just say something?
Yeah.
He's another one where for some reason, comics like to make fun of or talk about. And I'm going to just say this, and I'm going to end probably with this.
Yeah.
Is that when I moved to LA, and we used to do this show called Dublin's. It was a Irish bar on Sunset Boulevard. It was upstairs in this Irish bar. Tuesday nights was comedy night, okay? And it was the hottest comedy show ever. It was like all the best comics from all the clubs would just try to get on that show. And that audience was like Vince Vaughn, Britney Spears, Cameron Diaz. I mean, it was all these celebrities would come to this Tuesday night fucking thing. It was every agent, man. You would walk off stage and like APA, CAA,
Whoa.
IC. I mean, people would like hand you cards.
Wow.
It was that hot. But the whole thing was revolved around Dane. The whole show was. That's how hot he was. And he used to fucking crush. Like, I've never seen crushing like that. So people can say what they want about him too, and I'm going to defend him by saying you may never be able to crush like him, and I've had weird experiences with him, but in terms of as a comic, I've only seen him devastate rooms, and I'm defending him too.
I don't know the controversy behind him, to be
There
honest
really
with you.
isn't. I think just people just kind of, because he was this guy. He was on fire, and
Oh, that whole... Dude,
and
yeah.
and then he was accused of stealing too.
Really?
Yeah,
Wait, there was a Louis C.K.
thing.
episode
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, he wrote them in it. Yeah, but
Oh.
there was that, and I don't know. Just
I don't know
comics
much
like to rip on other comics when they fall, and a little bit, and I'm not doing that with them. Anyway, really good to be here on Wesam's World. That's a great poster.
Thank you. Seriously, thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Dude, I honestly I don't get up this early
Oh, okay.
on a Saturday.
This is an
And last night my girlfriend was like, "Well, just cancel." I was like, "I don't, not this one,"
Dude,
because in my head I'm like, I've only seen you one other time.
I know.
Was at TCA. I've never encountered you. I mean, we've done. You have my cell phone now, but
Yeah.
through Twitter
Right.
on DM, and but you made such an impression on me the first time we met that I had to do it.
Can I be completely frank with you because I
Yeah.
feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Because listening to the last couple episodes of your podcast, and sometimes you mentioned like you won't respond to invites. So even you responding to my direct messages, like I appreciate that because he doesn't really know me. Do you know what I mean? Like I respected you just for even responding, and then when you were like, when I confirmed with you the day before, like you asked me to, and then you responded, I was.
Can
like,
I say another thing that I'm gonna show you a hand?
Yeah, please.
All right, and this is gonna sound fucked up.
No, it's fine.
But a little bit of that is that I'm afraid I'm gonna run into you again.
Oh.
Right in my head, I'm like, we're all both on ABC shows.
I get that.
I'm kidding.
We're being honest.
No, I'm not being.
You were kidding. Oh, you were making a joke. Okay, that's fine.
A little bit.
That's fine.
I don't know what it is, but it's like it was the impression. I like you, and also you know, I feel like there's just something about you that you're gonna do more, and I want to just get in with you ground level.
Fair.
You know, it's so funny because last thing I want to say is you know, like Sebastian Maniscalco, the same guy I was talking about. You know, people go, he's a little private, you know, but I knew him when he was struggling. I knew when he was coming up, and I got in ground level with him. And I just like being ground level with people.
Yeah.
You know, when you meet somebody like, I've never met Tom Hanks, but if I were to meet him, I'd be a little scared because I was not ground level. I didn't know him before Booze and Buddies. You know what I mean? But I like being, because when you're ground level with somebody and then they act like an asshole, I can always say, no, dude, that's not you.
Yeah.
This is me, Bob. You know? So I'm ground level with you, I feel like.
I feel like that too.
Yeah. Anyway,
I
Mike,
appreciate that.
sorry for calling you a hairy pinto bean.
It's okay.
I feel bad about it.
It's okay.
Okay. There's love there, though.
I know.
Thank you.
Bobby,
Yeah.
seriously, so much
That was
respect
so
for
much
you.
fun.
So much fun. I hope we get to do it again
We
sometime.
will.
And
I'm gonna have you on mine. You know, I don't have guests every other week, but I'm gonna try to fit you in.
please, I'm around.
Okay, Wesam.
Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out Tiger Belly. Much love.
Oh, wait.
We're out.
When does this come out?
This comes out this Thursday. And then the
This coming
podcast
Thursday?
is Friday morning.
Next weekend, then. If you live in Seattle, I'm gonna be at the Parlor Live
Awesome.
in Bellevue, Washington, which is like 15 minutes from Seattle.
Where can they buy tickets?
Parlorlive.com.
Okay. Cool. All right. We out. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to the show. Big thanks to Bobby Lee for coming on. Thank you to High Brew Coffee. Your creamy cappuccino with protein has made my day. Seriously, it's one of the best coffee drinks I've ever had. And they've got a whole bunch of other flavors as well. They got Mexican vanilla, dairy-free black and bold. Only 20 calories on that one. Double espresso is 50 calories. And guess what? Dark chocolate mocha, 90 calories. Not even 100. That's pretty amazing. And check them out on social media as well. Big thanks to you guys for listening in on the show. Much appreciated. Also, thanks to Adobe Radio, Nice Guy Digital, and to you, Michael. And a big welcome to Steph Jula, our new social media producer. I just so much love for everybody out there. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you next week.